So I remember when I was starting business many years ago, we actually focusing more on the insurance product. The index annuity wasn't that great in terms of the return, how flexible that is. Over the years, the product has been evolving and it become better and better. So now half of my business is coming from the annuity, and then more than half of that business is coming from the index annuity. It's become very, very attractive for the clients. And then that's the reason I'm very passionate about how product can help people out there. And then over the years, when I talking about this topic, the number one question people always ask me, how come I never heard about this, right? It sounds too good to be true. So how come nobody knows about this among my friends and family? So I always tell them that there's huge gap in between the industry knowledge versus what you know. That's why our company is very passionate about teaching this knowledge on a weekly basis. So hopefully today, after the presentation, you found the information is very valuable, right? So this training is for the agent. So you found that this can help yourself and a family and friends and teammates for their retirement. But mostly, I want you to go out there, share the knowledge, share the mission that we have from this company. All right. So without further saying, let's get started. Okay. So a lot of us on the line, on the Zoom, know what the index annuity is all about. But I understand, and we have tons of the brand new agents just joined us recently. So let me share with you in terms of the definition, what is annuity? It could be a brand new concept for a lot of people out there, but it is not hard to understand. Right? So by definition, annuities provide insurance against the risk of outliving your money after you stop working. Right? It almost sounds like a pension plan, isn't it? Right? You get the potential to grow your savings and create guaranteed income for life so you can retire your way. Right? And then recent years, annuity and then become even better. Not only they provide the income, but also provide the very good potential growth. So, for example, there's three key things that you wanted to remember in terms of the annuity product. One is a tax deferred growth, meaning that if you have annuity, either qualified or non-qualified annuity, so either pre-tax or after-tax money annuity, you don't need to deal with the IRS. I have a client call me during the tax season recently, say, oh, I have the annuity. Do I need to pay taxes? Do I need to file 1099? Do I need to do this and deal with the tax related issues? I say, no, you don't have to do that. Even though it is after tax money, right? There's no tax you need to worry, right? That's a great thing. The second of all is that growth potential. Annuity nowadays no longer only give you a fixed rate of return. You can participate in the market, you can get return, you can follow the S&P, you can follow the index. You have a great potential. You no longer those very, stable, flat rate of return type of program. You can have a decent rate of return. I will share with you how do you do that in the next few slides. And then the number three, the key things you need to remember, because the market is very volatile. People worry about losing money. I'm sure that you experienced this last couple of years. Right after the pandemic, the market has been growing in a very high very high rate. But recently, and then with the high inflation, market become very volatile, especially for people about to retire in the next few years. They're wondering that, what if the market crash? Is that right? And then what if I lose 40%, just like 2008? Is that the market crash is coming? If you or your client have that kind of worry, and this is a good way to move some of the money into an index annuity product. All right. So let me share with you some case study. Okay. So in terms of the annuity, there's 5 types of annuity. Okay. So I want you to be very clear about the concept. And then when I talk about case study, and you know what I'm talking about. So there's a 5 type. The first one is called the immediate annuity, meaning that somebody retire next year. They have a chunk of retirement. They want to turn that into an income stream. They can utilize the immediate annuity. There's not a whole lot of growth because it's only 1 year, or you want to take the income immediately. So, but it provides a lifetime income. The second type is called the fixed annuity. Nowadays, you have clients who wanted to save money for 3 and 5 years, and then they don't want to have any type of the market related issues. They wanted to have a fixed rate of return. Nowadays, some fixed annuities can get up to a 5% rate of return every year. A lot of people say, I can get my CDs as a near that kind of rate of return. But don't remember, CDs, you still have to pay taxes on a yearly basis. At least this one, you don't have to pay tax until later. So it's tax deferred. Still better than the CD programs, right? Of course, they have limitation. Make sure you talk with the people who actually is very knowledgeable in terms of the annuity product. So I will concentrate on the fixed annuity today. Okay, so number 4, which is I saw a lot recently as well. Number 4 and number 5 is called variable annuity. So we're going to have classes coming up talking about this. So make sure that you're a member or you have your team member register for their team member for the classes we provide. It has a lot of information, the good information for yourself and for your clients as well. Okay, the case study I want to share with you is from a company called Athene. Athene has been a new kids on the block in terms of name-wise, but Athene has been around for a very, very long time. And then with different kind of a merge, they become a rising star in the index annuity industry. And currently, as of we're talking right now, Athene become a #1 index annuity carrier in the United States. Okay, there's a reason to be #1 because the product is outstanding, right? And then we're so proud to let you know one of the reasons I think become a #1 index annuity on the market is because of us. The more than 50% of volume that Athene get is from World Financial Group. So think about this. Athene is a #1 in the US. More than half of the business from us. As a company, we single-handed to dominate the whole index annuity market in the United States. It's very powerful, right? The reason is because we have so many agents. We like to help people. We have education platform, right? So I want to share with you, why do I say the product is outstanding? Okay, so there's so many different index annuities out there, right? If you're an agent, you can explore the options. But I always talking with about the Athene program. Let me share with you 2 of the programs that Athene has, which is top selling products within Athene. The 2 programs I'm going to talk about is called Agility and the Performance Elite. Is sometimes you heard people talking about the PE7, PE10. PE stand for Performance Elite. Right? There's another product and I use a lot. It's called the Agility 7 or Agility 10. The reason there's a number behind the name, it just represents how long the product surrender charges. If it is Agility 7, meaning that your client have to at least to keep the product for 7 years versus 10 years. Right? As PE7, the PE10 and PE15, it just means that you have to keep the product for 7 year, 10 year, or 15 years. Okay, so let's talk about specific product. Let me share with you a PE7 first. Right? PE7 for accumulation. The keywords you just have to remember. This program is purely for the accumulation purpose. Okay, they don't have income, and then you have a client wanted to accumulate the assets. This is a good product. Okay, they have a different features. Okay, I will go into the details. Okay, so in summary, they have a tax deferred growth potential. They have guarantees, protections, no downside market risk, and a death benefit. So let me go into the details. Okay, if you have a client who has a chunk of money wanted to invest in the PE7, once the money goes in, where's the money go? It's not going to sit in the fixed rate. It's not going to go into the stocks. You will allocate in a different index strategy. It follows different index strategies. What you see on my screen is a set of the free strategies. Within a thing, inside a thing, there's a free strategies. There's some strategy costs you some extra fee. Okay, so I separate those for people who has a client very sensitive with the fee. They say, can you offer me a product without any fees? I want protections. I want fees. This is an option for you. So free strategy without any cost. So you can see they have quite a few strategies. They have a BNP, Paribas, multi-assets, diversified 5 index, right? They have NASDAQ FC index, an AI powered US equity index, S&P daily risk control 2, and also S&P with the cap, right? I'm sure that a lot of you in familiar with the S&P. So your money can follow S&P without the down market, without the downside market risk, but on the upside, they can earn up to 10%. It's very good, isn't it? A lot of the IUL programs have similar features of 10% cap on it. For some of you, a big fan of S&P, and then they don't want any market risk. They're a big fan of S&P, and then they don't want to have any risk and a cost. And then you wanted to put them into this strategy, right? But at the same time, I always tell my client that, why don't you diversify? S&P is good, but you never know what S&P will do next year. So let's diversify. So let me give you some examples. Let's use NASDAQ, right, as an example. NASDAQ FC index. So you notice there's something called the participation rate. What does that mean by 115%? This is not the cap, okay? It's not going to cap you at 115%. This is called the participation rate. So how does that work? Okay, here we go. I cut that section to let you know exactly how does that work. So for example, if NASDAQ FC index grow about 10%, so the participation rate is 10% times 115%. At the end, how much you get? You get 11.5%. You get more than what the FC index performance is. Not only you don't lose money, but you outperform the market. How nice is that? Is that right? So everybody should get it. I think that is an awesome idea. What if S&P? What if NASDAQ FC index grow 8%? Simply, you use 8% and then times 115%. That equals 9.2. So instead of getting 8%, you get 9.2%. You get what more than the market does. Everybody wants to have product like that. Is that right? When the market is negative, you don't want to lose money. When the markets grow, you want to get more than what market does. Okay, this is what I mean. When NASDAQ FC index drop negative 8%, you don't lose money. Okay, even though you don't lose money, you'll be so happy because your neighbors, your coworker, they're complaining, they worry about the market. They say, "Oh my goodness, last year my money dropped negative 8%," and you can go there and share and say, "Hey, you know what? I don't lose anything, and the product does not have any fees." How nice is that? Okay, of course, when the market's flat, not making anything, and then you don't make anything either. That's fair, is that right? So this is a simple program. Your client don't want to have any risk, but they do want to participate in the market, and then they wanted to do well in some scenarios. And the PE7 is a good program. Some people, they ask me, they say that is 115%, can that be changed? Answer is yes. This year is 115%. Next year could go higher, could go lower. It varies, right? But the key things is that you don't lose money. Next year, your participation rate could be 150%, could be a 95%, could be 70%. It varies, but I like this product is because the guarantees they have, you will never ever lose money. That's what a lot of people is looking for in this marketplace. And then let me share with you another set of options. You can choose in between free strategies and fee strategies. Right? So it does not mean the product is costly, has 1.25%. If you choose the free strategies, and then you don't have any cost. But some people a little bit more aggressive. They say that, I don't mind to pay a fee so I can get higher potential return. So how much is the fee? 1.25%. It's not bad, isn't it? 1.25%. So it's very similar to a lot of the annuity nowadays in the marketplace. Some of the annuity has annual fee of 1%, even more than that. So it's also comparable to annuity products. But the better things compared with annuity is that it does not have the market risk. It has a cost, but it does not have a market risk. Let me use exactly the same strategy to demonstrate how good the product is. Let's use a NASDAQ FC as an example. So in that fee strategy, the participation rate is 145%. You can tell it is a higher participation rate. So paying a little bit fee, you have a potential higher return. And that's actually, it's not bad. So let's do a math, right? So if the market does 10%, okay, if the market does 10%, you use 10% times of 145%, then magnify the return for you, right? And then, of course, the end of the year, they deduct the 1.25%. So you still get about 13.25%. And it's pretty good. You still outperform the market, even though with the fee, okay? And then let's give you another example. What if the market does 8%? You magnify the return, and then at the end, you minus a fee. So you'll receive about 10.35%. 10.35%. So actually, the mark is a little bit higher than that. Okay. So you still outperform the market, even though with the fee, you still outperform the market. All right. It's quite good. It's quite good. What if the market drops? What if the market lost negative 8%? And then with the fee, you're still losing. I will not say the losing because of the fees, right? You're still net with negative 1.25%. And then when market is flat, and then you still net with negative 1.25%. You see the worst case scenario, absolutely the worst case scenario, and your net with negative 1.25%. It's pretty good. And then compare with some of the market, 2008, and the S&P lost about negative 40%. Last couple of years, it was negative double digit for S&Ps, for a lot of the index as well. The worst case scenario, absolutely the worst case scenario, is negative 1.25%. Sometimes you can treat this as just a paying for the fee on the investment, right? If you don't like the fee, you can choose the free strategies. You can absolutely protect the principle for you, okay? So if you share the knowledge, just what I share with you, for a lot of people out there, I bet you 8 out of the 10 people will be interested in knowing more about the product. Right? So with those key features, those index annuity has. And then I think there's no brainer. Everybody wants to have a piece of it. Of course, I don't recommend you to put everything you have in it. You still need some liquidity, right? And some people still want to diversify your portfolio, but some of the assets into strategy like that will create a peace of mind for you for the retirement for sure. Okay, a summary. So who can qualify? So any age between, this is from the Things website. Thing says any age between 0 to 83 years old can qualify for the product. Okay, but of course, WFG has their own sets of rule. You wanted to consult with the underwriter and make sure. Normally, they don't want you to get this too early. Okay, so you wanted to at least to be like 30 years old in order to have the program like that. So it's good that we have a second layers of the underwriting. So within the WFG, but most of the people you meet will eventually be qualified for the product like that. And then what is the minimum? If I just have some extra money, I don't want it to do with the pre-tax money. maybe I have some savings, 10,000, 20,000, 50,000, 100,000 in the bank. Right. Recently, I had a lady came that have some money in the bank, don't know what to invest, too busy to watch the market. They want to save the money for the retirement anyways. And then she just put 140,000 cash into the program, right? So, and you will have a lot of people interested in that. But just remember the minimum requirement is $10,000. Okay. The surrender period is 7 years. Depends on what program you choose. It could be 7 years. It could be 10 years. Okay. Of course, if you have a 10-year program, there the benefit could be a little bit different, but the concept is very similar. The free withdrawal, you have clients say, what if, right? What if this? What if that? What if I wanted to access money? They do have a 10% of free withdrawal each year for you, just for clients who have emergency needs. They want to pull some money out. If they wanted to pull less than 10%, which is okay. If you pull more than 10% within the 7 years, you might have some penalty on it. That's the reason I said, do not put everything you have into the plan, even though I know that you want it. It's so good, the program. Just put a portion of the retirement savings in it. Okay, so the rest of it just for the liquidity use, because you never know what's going to happen. Okay, so, and then of course, in some of the state, they do have something called a confinement waiver, right? And then also the long-term care rider, confinement rider on it. You can double you can actually have a little bit more liquidity within those programs, but it's currently not available in California. Okay, so this is the end of the PE7. And then hopefully you're a little bit more clear about what the index, accumulation index is all about. And the next one, I'm going to share with you about the index, income annuity. So within the index annuity, there's two types. One is accumulation, just like a PE7. One is an income annuity, focusing more on generate the income for you. It's similar to a pension plan. People say, can I have a pension plan? I say, absolutely. You can buy your own pension plan. Okay, that sounds very intriguing. Is that right? So let me show you how do you do that. The program I use the most is called Agility 10. Agility 10. It is still within a company called Athene. All right. So the key benefits for Agility 10, the tax deferred growth potential, right? Guarantees. See this, you can receive income for rest of your life. That is a key selling point. Protection for the downside market risk, and then the death benefit as well. Okay, so this is very similar to PE7, but if you noticed, the participation rate compared with the PE7 is a little bit lower. It's not going to be over 100%, right? It's going to be a little bit lower. Instead of 115%, instead of 145%, it provides an 82%. For a lot of people, it's not bad at all. You have a principal guarantee, you don't lose money. And then if the market grows, you get 82% of the growth. Okay. So what is the NASDAQ FC index, right? You want to see how it has been performed recent year. Okay. So I just put some data in a 3 year. This is the annual. Okay. So this is the annual growth in 3 years. This is up to 2020. In 3 years before the 2020, average about 11.37% rate of return. 5 years, it is 11.29% rate of return a year. 10 years is about 8.53%. The full period is about 5.68 with up and downs and everything. Not bad at all, is that right? So NASDAQ FC index, it is a risk control index, meaning that it's not going to be as aggressive as a lot of the NASDAQ Dow Jones index out there. If you see the growth line, okay, it's a pretty flat, meaning that it will give you a consistent return over the years. Okay, so let's look at the product itself. How does that guarantee, and then what kind of the guarantee they give you, and what kind of income that we receive? Let me show you an illustration, okay? This client, 50 years old, he's been changing jobs in here and there. And after he changing jobs, he has a little bit over or $100,000 into his previous 401k. So after come to learn about the index annuities, and then he decided to put into this Agility 10 product. Okay, so he put in original starting, the initial premium is 100,000. This is pre-tax money, okay? The minute he put money in, he was given a 25% bonus on the benefit base value, okay? And benefit base value. So this is a value will help him to generate the income in the future, okay? So that's the reason when you see the first year from 100,000 is already become 134,000. It's more than 30% rate of return. A lot of my clients don't understand. They say, wow, in first year, it already grew more than 30%. I told them that it is not the growth that you're seeing is because of a 25% bonus, a signing bonus you receive. That's pretty good bonus, 25%. Is that right? So, and then 100,000 instantly become 125,000 and plus the market return. Not only they give you the market return, the FC index, but also they have a multiplier factors. So you get 175% of the FC index return. That's nice. Even though you see the participation rate is low, is less than 100%. But in that situation, you get 175%. That's the reason the benefit base keep growing. It has a high growth rate. Is that? A lot of people, when they see that, they say, oh, wow, that's quite a lot of growth. That sounds too good to be true. Of course. So when you see the number at 442,000 at age of 62, does not mean that you can cash out with that 442. If they allow you to cash out, that really sounds too good to be true. Is that right? It's too much of the growth for just putting 100,000. Okay. They just use that number to calculate how much the income, how much pension plan you'll receive on the yearly basis starting at 64. The client said that I want to retire at 64. So I wanted to see that how much money I'll most likely to return to receive at age of 64. According to that illustration, again, this is a non-guaranteed illustration, meaning that could be lower, but could be higher as well. Right? This is according to the historical performance, the hypothetical rate of return on the index you choose, that you'll receive roughly about $20,000 a year to begin with in the year one. Okay. And then one of the biggest reason I like about this index annuity is because the income does not stay at the same level. Because you all know that inflation is very high nowadays. Who knows what the future inflation will look like? You want your income increase, right? You want your income to gradually increase so it can cover the increasing inflation that we're facing in the marketplace. The first year that you receive a 20,000, the second year receive a 21, the third year receive a 23, right? Of course, how much the income increasing also related to the market performance. It is not guaranteed, but the worst case scenario, absolutely the worst case scenario, if the market does not grow at all, at least you have a level income. So, but of course, you know that market is not going to stay flat. It's going to be fluctuating, right? As long as the market fluctuates, you will have a potential to have increasing income. So if you see the increasing income, it's not that bad, right? So you receive, if you are in the 80 years old, you already receive around $68,000 a year, okay? And I want you to see another column. It's called the cumulative withdrawal. The cumulative withdrawal just simply add all the income you receive year after year. So for example, the first year is 20,000. The second year, it become a 42,000. Why? Because they add a 20,000 and plus a 21,000 become a 42,000. So you simply add how much the total income you'll receive at certain year. Look at this, at age of 80, how much money that you already received up to that point. Total about $681,000. How much money you put in? 100,000, is that right? What is the rate of return? What is the return rate? Is 800%. It's 800% rate of return, simple rate of return over the years. I don't know which real estate property will give you 800% rate of return. It's hard to find. And then you have to deal with the renters at age of 80 or 75. You want to have a peaceful life. You don't want to have to deal with the renters. That's why I say that if you wanted to have a retirement plan and then an income annuity, it is a very excellent option for you. It is just so good that you cannot pass, right? It's just every year you receive money. You don't have to worry about fix a roof, right? You don't have to worry about deal with tenant. All you have to do is just enjoy the money. All you have to do is make sure that they send you the money. You find a way to spend it because next year will come back again. Okay. One of my clients, and then he came to me and he said that, oh, wow. So at age of 90, okay, so that means I'll receive 142,000. So I say, yes, that's how much money you'll receive. And then, you know what he said? He said that, but at the age of 90, I'm probably not going to be walking around anymore, right? Why do I need that much money for? Okay. So one thing is that people don't think, and then they have enough money for the retirement. And then some client will say that, oh, I have too much for the retirement because annuity, right? So I told him that, hey, you know what? There will be the best thing ever happen to you. Receive a lot of money and then trying to find a way to spend it. So I said that you might not be able to travel, right? You might not able to spend that kind of money at the age of 90. Guess what? You probably have kids or grandkids. You can tell the grandkids, you say that, come to visit me because I cannot move anymore, right? Come to visit me. Every time you come to visit, I'll give you 20,000. I'm just joking, right? But think about this. Every time they come, you give the red envelope, it said 20,000 every time you come. Guess how often they come to visit you, is that right? And then every time they come visit you, they'll treat you very nice. They buy you all kinds of nice health-related supplements, make sure that you have good mood and you live a healthy, happy life so that you don't have to worry. And then you're able to live a long life because the longer you live, the more money that you'll have to make, right? So how nice is that? Annuity is such a happy product because once you buy it, you'll be happy because you'll never worry about the money. The money keep growing. And then that's just what we all want, isn't it? During the retirement, happy and don't worry. And then at the same time, people ask me, so I know the pension, if you have a pension, if I die early, the pension will disappear. What if I die early? Nice thing about this program is that it does has the death benefit. Okay. So the death benefit actually is quite decent. Imagine something happened for this person at age of 60, right? Knock the wood. So at the age of 60, at the time, remember how much money you put in? 100,000. At age of 60, something happened to the client. How much money that the client will make? Not the client will make. How much money the beneficiary will receive? $220,000. Isn't that good, right? So first of all, you don't lose money, and then your beneficiary will get $220,000. They do allow you to have access to $335,000 if you're willing to take 5-year distributions. Okay, but just keep it simple. $220,000 is more than double of $100,000, right? Imagine that if you don't save money here, you just save money in the mutual funds. At the age of 60, there might be a chance your beneficiary have earning less money. I'm just saying you might have a chance because of the market risk. There's a lot of the uncertainty in the market. That's why having these programs have so much benefits: lifetime income, growth, and death benefit. Of course, you see the death benefit will disappear at age of 77, right? Because during the time you already pull out close to $500,000 from the 100,000 you invest in. You already you deplete all the savings investment within this annuity. If you live beyond that point, your beneficiary will no longer have a death benefit, which is fair, right? And then all you have to do, make sure you be healthy, you exercise, you spend all the money that you receive in the beginning of the year, you find a way to spend it, you can give to the grandkids, let the grandkids come to visit you, give them a big envelope, right? Red envelope every year, and you will be living happy ever after, right? So that's why I said that annuity is a happy program. Okay, and then a summary about the index income annuity. Okay, so who can qualify? Because they provide the income. Some people came to me and said, can I just give this program so good? Can I give my 20-year-old income annuity? I said, no. It's too much risk for annuity company to accumulate the money for you to provide an income for 20 years old, okay? You have to be minimum of 40 years old, okay? So it's between 40 to 80. Minimum is 10,000, right? And then balance, the benefit balance bonus plan is 25%. Okay, so it's no longer 35. Used to be 35. Now it's 25. Okay, and then it's 175% account value and a 10-year surrender period, 10% of free withdrawal, just like Agility 10. Right. So, and then the rest of it is very similar to Agility 10. Okay, so in summary, okay, let me give you a very simple case study. 52 years old engineer makes a career change and has a previous 401k plan. And he likes to build his retirement assets to create a pension-like payout. He wants to retire at age of 65 and be able to travel and with his wife without worry about the market volatility. Meaning that he want to worry about the money, want to secure the principal, and then I wanted to be able to receive the money, travel, worry-free, right? So which one you wanted to choose? Which one you wanted to choose? Okay. Agility 10, is that right? Because they wanted to create a pension-like payout, like a lifetime payout. Okay. If you have a client say, I want to create a personal pension, I wanted to make sure my money does not last very short period of time. I want to make sure my client's money lasts for life. You choose the income annuity. Okay. What if there's a 45 years old, a little bit younger client, and then is worried about her RA investment in this volatile market, and she already has a pension with a hospital and looking for alternative strategy to secure her RA for her retirement. She does not worry about the pension, and she wants liquidity. She wants to be able to put any amount she wants during the retirement. So what is the solution? Agility 10, PE 7. Okay. The key thing to remember, Agility 10 is for the income, PE 7 is for the accumulation. Okay. What I just shared